how can you install focus and keep focus along the way. Hey sprinters, super pumped to share this with you because this is one of the tools that helped us start, grow and scale our business, staying focused for 90 days on the main things that really are the most direct path to manifesting our mission. And because what works for us, we share with our clients. Thousands of people have done this and have said that it is super helpful, so now I'm sharing this also with you. So the question here is, how can you install focus and keep focus along the way? Because there will be so much stuff going on and new opportunities coming in. And if you are a little bit like most entrepreneurs, and I am 100%, my team says I'm like a dog who just saw a squirrel, right? So, look, this opportunity, we can do that. But stop, Simon, what was our plan? And that's where we then go to double check if this mega opportunity, which excites us so much, if it really has the data, because your team has limited time capacity, limited intellectual capacity, limited emotional capacity, because we are humans. And the first thing is to acknowledge the limits. And then to double check here what is really a growth goal that can be accomplished. And after accepting of the limits, then you track the limits, you learn more about yourself, and then you overcome the limits bit by bit in small steps. In small steps, week by week, you overcome these limits. But first, let's acknowledge the limits. And my experience in working with thousands of teams is teams don't know their limit yet. That's why they overcommit, and then they feel bad and they burn out and they lose their game. So this is the plan that can help you win your game. Let's go together through it. First thing is that you say, okay, for this timeline, take a timeline. This is a quarterly timeline. Take your timeline, put it in here, and then say, what's the topic? For example, the topic is, I don't know, rollout of these things that we have cooking, and that's the main topic. Then you will have 5 main goals to put in here. Let's say one goal is be found on Google 5 times in the first 7 seconds that somebody puts your name into, okay? So search engine optimization will be the KPI. So you will have a SEO ranking in your keyword that is number 2 maybe. But this KPI, this is really important. This is your desired KPI. And now this is important psychologically. Some KPIs are in your control, some are not in your control. If you get that right, your team will be motivated. If you get that wrong, like 90%, 99% of the teams do, then your teams will not be motivated. So do this thing. You have 2 columns here. You have KPIs in your control, not in your control. This is what you usually put in. So what is the desired outcome? But the desire is a fantasy. Keep that in mind. And then there is the KPIs in your control. And this is not a fantasy, this is your habit. This is a standard that you set for yourself, and every day and every week you will be accountable, you will commit to that habit and deliver it or not deliver it. That's why you track it. Because everything that gets tracked, gets measured, gets improved. So KPI in your control, if you want to have a Google ranking number 2 for your keyword, the KPIs in your control can be every week. So weekly, 3 pictures optimized. Then what can you do? You can say weekly 4 video testimonials of your clients uploaded. What else can you really do every week? Weekly, 600 words in the top 5 keywords that relate to the top 5 current problems of your customers. Then you say the status, status is nothing at the beginning, but I did put in this because you will have to review, and I want to make it easy for you to review. And then you say the owner, put a name here. Then goal number 2. What's your goal number 2? Let's say is to outperform our market by 2%. And then again, what is in your control, what is not in your control. Put it in here, and then this is to make it easy for you to see if things are really completed, not completed, or on schedule, etc. Because our experience, we have coached thousands of teams, and our experience is that most teams, they lose the battle because they forget the last 5% implementation. They get until 95% and then they say, yeah, it's almost done. And this almost done can kill you. So don't go to 95%, go to 100%. And this is what helps you closing all the loops and say, okay, now we are really at 100%, and it will give you even some visual clues so it's easy for you to see what's going on. Then this is something that helps us. Again, I told you, we're like a dog who sees a squirrel and goes, haha, there's an opportunity there. And that's how we are. Like, if we are growth people, we see growth opportunities everywhere. So the second thing that helps you focusing is, what do we stand for? What is our positioning? And then you will go, are we on the one need right now? So for example, we had freedom as the one main need until 1 month ago. And then the Corona crisis came and we had to change that we went from freedom to cash as the main need. So as long as it was freedom, I would say, yeah, we have a validated one need right now, and everything I do every day leads to that, contributes to that. But then Corona came and we said, no, I don't think so. So maybe people right now, what's my assumption? I think people need cash, but I didn't know really. So I cannot check it yet. We'll have to validate. And if it's not validated yet, I do a question mark. The one avatar, is the one avatar still the one avatar? Okay, let's say, no, maybe, the CEO, and he has 150 employees, and he's B2B and has a digital business. Okay, that's the avatar. Okay, check. We have enough validation that people per week are buying, and if we go through their data, we see that they are exactly in this category. Check. Our offer. Is the offer still the best offer? The strategy is print. Is the price right? Is the length right? It's 90 days. Is it perfect? Yeah, that's kind of good. The one value ladder is the one value ladder. So it starts with the smallest. There is some form of awareness when people come in, right? Can be the strategy show, can be paid advertisement, whatever. And then there is something, the smallest thing that they can, like a trial, or how can they see if it's a good fit to work with you? What's the smallest thing that they can experience? In our case, it's audits. We like audits because there is where we can give value, but at the same time they can see if they like this way of being asked and of being coached. So they just put in 15 minutes, but they know exactly if they want this kind of coach. Because we are a very specific kind of coach, we are always at 95 miles per hour, and we are not the right coach for everybody. It's just for the people who want to be a Ferrari. So this one you also have to validate. Invalidate So from the smallest thing, you go to your main product. Sometimes you will have something in between, like a small online course, which is your front-end product. You might have a front-end product, then a main product, and then a back-end product. Back-end product, and then you might have a continuity program, like a mastermind or a program like Miles and More. That can be a value ladder, or you can even skip, like we did, skip the front-end product and go directly to the main product. It really depends on your context and your customer journey and how you want to play that. But at the end you say, okay, now it's validated, I have my value ladder. And then one channel. You will have 3-4 winning channels, but put the one on top of it. Let's say it's a LinkedIn reach out, or it is, like in my case, it is speaking. Or it can be a Facebook advertisement, or it can be, I don't know, you sell from workshops that bring in other workshops. Whatever your main sales channel is, put it in here, and then if you don't know which one the winning is, make a question mark, and whenever you know it, you check it, and then you know. And this is a very important exercise. Now, this was at the high level check, but then you now have to get granular. And granular means write down your current, depending on your value ladder. So in these examples, we had some audits, and then a conversion rate to discovery calls, a conversion rate to customers, and then we have total revenue, net promoter score, and lifetime value. If these are the main KPIs for your funnel, then write down what are the current numbers, and let's say you have 2, and converting to discovery calls, converting to customers brings you a total revenue of 30,000, and then the NPS you will build to measure it. But let's say that usually customers buy 3 of your products in a row. So then in a lifetime, this one customer has a value in euro, in dollars, of 90,000 for you. And that's how you can track the current thing. But it's also important, even in times of crisis, especially in times of crisis, that you also plan for some small increments in 30 days, 60 days, in 90 days, and long term. And then it is important for your team to see here the progression. Now, this is the estimation, then every week you will have the measurement, and then you work with the gap. And whenever you have the gap, and you will have the gap, then you will see. Because the plan is not so important. Important is the process of measuring, estimating, measuring, optimizing. Estimating, measuring, optimizing. We call it assumption, validation, improvement. Assumption, validation, improvement. And that's what we do. We write these numbers down, but they are not really that important. They are just a point in a blank page, but with a point now you have orientation, you have direction. And that point will be measured every week. In our case, it's Friday. Every Friday we measure plan, current dates, gap, and then we decide what to do with that gap. And this discussion is really important. We always ask ourselves, are we doing the right things? And are we measuring the right things? So sometimes we change here the KPIs. But always we discuss, okay, is the plan the right plan? Or is it too ambitious? Then we have to lower the expectations on the result side. Or is the plan absolutely right? We stick with that plan, but then we have to give more horsepower to our daily activities, which would be, we go back to the daily activities and then we say, okay, maybe 3 pictures per week is not enough. We need to hire somebody and we go up to 8 pictures per week that are optimized. 5 video testimonials are not enough. Let's go to 9 video testimonials per day. From 600 words, hey, you have to write more, write 900 words. And that's how, week by week, in your context, you create your tailored growth plan. And all this thing together is a growth plan. So you have the 90 days, you have the 5 goals and who's doing it. You check if you are doing the right thing. And you get really, really granular, because every day you want to measure your KPIs, and every 7 days as a team you want to discuss the gap between plan and the current data and how to deal with that gap. If it's just okay, keep going, or if you want to lower the expectations and stay with the same activities, or if we want to stay with the same expectations, same ambition level, but you have to increase your activities per day and per week and hire people, or have the same people do more. And these are the really, really relevant dialogues to have in your team. Hope that helps, sprinters. Keep rolling.
The highest calling right now is to be of service. So the best sales is to not sell at all, but instead to serve the people you care about. Selling is telling. So who do you serve? And how do you serve them? The quality of this experience makes the difference. If you want our experts to go over your current sales funnel and really dive into the experience and the needs of your clients at each conversion point and make it a wow experience, then you are in luck, because we have an exercise for you. Our 15-minute sales audit and one-on-one coaching with a world-class sprint coach. Fill out a couple of questions about your sales funnel and you will have clarity. In your personalized coaching session, you will get clarity on your number one bottleneck, 3 ideas on how to accelerate your growth, and a tangible sales map on how to double your conversions. Go to strategysprints.com/sales and do our 15-minute free sales audit today.